Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is our Extreme Rules reactions. Let's say we just finished watching Extreme Rules. We watched it a bit earlier before we went to school, didn't we? And there's a little bit to get through. Yeah, we'll get to the ending at the end, I think. And let's start then.
I think this ending of Extreme Rules was like the worst.
Oh well, we'll get into that as we get to it, won't we? Right, let's get to it then. The kickoff show started off with Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title. As we know, on Tuesday SmackDown, Shinsuke actually beat Finn Balor in a non-title match. Well, it was the same result here. Shinsuke Nakamura beat Finn Balor, and he is now the new Intercontinental Champion. It's a bit weird. I thought that this was on the kickoff show, but you know, that is what it is. I think they could have put this on the main show, but you know, that is what it is, isn't it, Kai? Next, it was Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. Not much to report here. Tony Nese lost, so Drew Gulak is still the Cruiserweight Champion. Going into the main show now. It started off with a bang, didn't it? It was Shane and Drew versus The Undertaker and Roman Reigns in a no-holds-bar match. It was actually a quite nice, fun match to start off, wasn't it? I thought The Undertaker had a better match in this because he wasn't really taking the full weight of the match. They had some really good.
Better than the Super Showdown match.
Yeah, definitely better than that match with Goldberg, and Undertaker and Roman Reigns got the win, didn't they? So yes, so going forward, that was quite nice, and reports are saying that Undertaker's very happy with that match. So we don't know when we'll see him next. It could be SummerSlam. The rumour is it could be Drew McIntyre, and I've heard a casket match, but like I said, that's not really set in stone, is it? So we'll have to see what happens. Next, it was the Revival versus the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Not much to really report. It was nice to see this match. The Revival went and won with the Shatter Machine. Next it was Aleister Black versus Cesaro. He's been having for the last couple of months what we've been calling Black in the Back sections, sequences and stuff like that, where he's been doing promos in the back asking for a fight. That got answered by Cesaro, and this was that fight. It was an alright match. It wasn't as good as what I think they could have done. Aleister Black picked up the win. So yeah, going forward, he's looking quite strong. I think they could do something with him going forward. Next, it was a nice little backstage section with R-Truth looking for Drake Maverick. Only for he was sort of pinning up wanted posters, a bit like the Drake Maverick was doing previously. He put them on a toilet door, I'm guessing, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out, and then they sort of went off, and then there were the Street Profits appeared.
And he said, where's Hornswoggle?
That's right, he keeps calling him Hornswoggle, doesn't he? Yeah, that's right. Then the Street Profits appeared, and they sort of were saying to Alexa and Nikki about a party. Yeah, he was quite funny, yeah. Yeah, they were talking about a party, about when they win the title and become co-SmackDown Women's Champions, would the Street Profits be invited to the party? So that's then leaded into the next match, which was that handicap 2-on-1 against Bayley. Not much to it, to be fair. Bayley went and won. Looks like moving on. Next, it was Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, Last Man Standing. This was a nice little fun match. Quite it's not as brutal as what I have seen because of the sort of era they're in, the PG era, but they did do some quite nice spots as well. Also, Bobby Lashley flipped the table over on Braun Strowman, and they went through the crowd and that. The ending was a little bit. I just wish, you know, WWE are a multi-million-pound company. You could see when they were on the sort of top bit that there was like a wooden gate that looked really yeah, it looked really cheap. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's really cheap. I knew that something was going to happen. It ended up Braun Strowman kicked it open, they swung open, picked up Lashley, and then he power bombed him off the top through which, to be honest, looked like cardboard boxes. You could see it was kind of a walkway to get into the arena, which they kind of boxed off with some cardboard and some foam or something that they landed in, and then obviously Braun Strowman sort of punched through it, and he was the victor and won the match. But like I said, it was a nice little fun match. Next, it was a New Day versus Heavy Machinery versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Again, it was an okay match. Not really a big fan of these triple threat tag team matches, but you know, it was what it was. But the New Day ended up being your 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions, or SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I'm hoping now that Daniel Bryan's now going to go solo and get out of this tag team, because I think he's better when he's not in a tag team. I think it's time now to go back to being a singles competitor. And he was saying about he's going to become a Daniel Bryan no one's ever seen. I think that was a little video on WWE exclusive. Next, it was AJ Styles versus Ricochet. AJ Styles was accompanied by the club. They come down, but before the match even got going, the club actually attacked Ricochet and sort of basically stacked the odds on him straight away from the get-go. The end, Ricochet went up to the top rope. The club interfered with the distraction, sort of pulling him down, and then AJ Styles did a Styles Clash from the top rope. I think it was the top rope or the second rope, and got the win. So he's now the new United States champion.
Just had it.
Yeah, exactly. He just had it.
Yeah.
Who was the title holder before Ricochet? Was it AJ Styles?
I think it was Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, yes, right. So AJ Styles hasn't had this belt for a little while, actually. But yeah, it's a little bit pointless to put the belt on Ricochet that and take it off him that quickly. But that is what it is. Next, it was Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler in a very, very quick match, wasn't it? It literally was one stunner over. Kevin Owens did another promo again saying about how Shane McMahon can kiss his backside, and everyone in the back feels the same. Obviously, ultra face mode for Kevin Owens. Next, it was Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. It should have been a better match than what it was.
Kofi going to lose his title?
Well, we don't know. He didn't lose it this time. Let's say I think Samoa Joe's his age is getting the better of him, and the match just wasn't really up to it. And so the Trouble in Paradise from Kofi, and he retained the title. Quickly, I did miss something out, Kai. Yes, after the New Day match, there was a Paul Heyman promo where he teased to cash in again. I forgot to mention that, and that's quite important to the end of this pay-per-view. I didn't sort of reiterate that. But speaking about that, we're going into that main event now. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Again, for the third time each, I think. I'm just sick of seeing Corbin and Lacey Evans go for the titles. I think it's just, it is what it is, and that'll filter into the end. They used kendo sticks, chairs. Obviously, this was an Extreme Rules match. I think Baron Corbin's sort of gimmick sort of thing is he gets frustrated with the ref a lot. He's been trying to get that pin, doesn't get the pin, gets frustrated with the ref, and I think that does pay into sort of how he's not winning these matches. There was two tables set up. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins were both on the same turnbuckle, and they sort of jumped through Lacey Evans and Corbin. That was quite a nice spot. But it wasn't until the end when Baron Corbin did an end of days to Becky Lynch, didn't he? And that sort of incensed Rollins, who did how many curb stomps?
3.
3 curb stomps to Baron Corbin, and he got the win. But that wasn't the end of the pay-per-view, was it, Kai? Because what happened at the very end?
Brock Lesnar cashed in.
That's it. He came down with a briefcase, he cashed in, and he is now the new Universal Champion. And that's how they ended it. They've been hinting this cash in for quite a long while, and they've finally now done it, haven't they?
I think Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, I think they're going to have another match.
Well, they might possibly have a rematch at SummerSlam. That is a possibility. I'm a little bit disappointed because Seth Rollins' title reign hasn't been that great. He's only had like 3 matches, or some of the 4 matches for the title, and they've near enough been all against Baron Corbin. So he's been in a feud with Baron Corbin for 3 months since winning it, and this is the end of it. Just completely squashed him and took the belt off him. It just seems that this is the sort of forgotten son this belt is. And why didn't they why didn't they let him cash in on Kofi? That's the other question. Why is it just this belt that they seem to give Brock Lesnar? It seems like they don't really care too much about it, that they want the WWE Championship on the screen more than this belt. They'd rather have Brock Lesnar go off for 2 months, don't defend it, then come back. And well, it might be a short title run, it might not, we don't really know. I expect tonight on Raw there to be a Brock party. Do you think the Street Profits are invited to that one? They wanted a party? Well, maybe they're going to a Brock party. And here's what it is. You either love Lesnar or you hate him. I'm in the middle. I don't particularly care for him too much. Being a champion, even less.
I really don't care, but Brock Lesnar being champion again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't particularly care for him being champion at the minute either. But right, tonight they're saying that Paul Heyman's now going to get full control over Raw, or partly control over Raw, so we'll see what happens. But going forward, when Lesnar's your champion, he is now going to struggle to have championship matches, especially when Brock Lesnar doesn't have any dates. It is what it is. I do kind of look at WWE and go, that's the same old that you've done previously. You've now gone back to that. What happens now? The opportunities for the other guys. It is what it is. And, I think WWE will eventually learn, hopefully, but they just haven't learnt yet. So, in my opinion, Extreme Rules was kind of an average pay-per-view again. They need to really raise the bar, and they just haven't do it. They aren't doing it, and they should do. But that is what it is, isn't it, Kai? That's my little catchphrase. It is what it is. And we'll see what they bring us now from now until SummerSlam, which is in what, 4 weeks, 3 weeks? I don't know. When is it? It's the 11th, isn't it, or something like that? Is it the 11th of August? I don't know. I ain't got my calendar.
It is 11th.
It is, yeah. So it's not that far away. It's only a few more weeks. So the build-up for that, they could have really done this at the end of August, and then they could have had a big of a build-up. But we'll see what happens now. They've got them sort of stories out of the line. Hopefully now it's like a clean slate with some of the championships changing hands, and now Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff can take control, and we'll see what happens going forward. So yeah, we'll leave it there, I think. So I think we'll say goodbye, Kai. Like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, which will be the Week Ups WWE, which will come tomorrow, and then SmackDown's Week Ups WWE will come Thursday, Kai, this week. So I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Bye.
Goodbye.